Okay, class, good day to all. So, for today, we are now going to be talking about the assessment of the respiratory system. So, like any other organ system in the body, it is very important for a nurse to properly assess the respiratory system for any possible disorder. So, the assessment of the respiratory system involves a comprehensive evaluation of an individual's breathing, lung function, and overall respiratory health, since the respiratory system is the one responsible for supplying oxygen to the body, which is essential to life, and also removing carbon dioxide, which is considered to be toxic to the body. It is very important to know if the respiratory system is actually functioning well. So, malalaman natin yon if we properly assess the respiratory system. So sa respiratory system, usually tinitingnan natin rito yung breathing, if the lungs are functioning well, and of course, the overall respiratory health of the patient. Now, it can be conducted in various ways, utilizing both subjective and objective measures. So, first of all, the first thing that you're going to be doing is conducting a medical history. So, SOP naman yan sa ating mga nurses. So, inuuna talaga natin lagi ang pag-interview sa patient with regards to their medical history. So, understanding a patient's medical history, including any respiratory conditions, presence of allergies, history of smoking, exposure to pollutant, occupational hazard, and even family history of the respiratory diseases, provides valuable insight. So, dito tinatanong natin, what is the current condition ng respiratory function ng isang pasyente? Meron bang difficulty of breathing? Or inuubo ba? Or meron bang clogging? Or aside from that, we can also ask the patient if there is any presence of allergies, kasi some of respiratory disorders are actually related to allergies. For example, the allergic rhinitis. Of course, smoking history should also be asked. Gano'ng kadalas, gano'ng kadami, huminto ba, patuloy pa rin ba naninigarilyo? Because as we all know, smoking really wreaks havoc in the respiratory system. Even exposure to pollutants or any occupational hazards. For example, halimbawa, ikaw ay jeepney, siya ba ay jeepney driver? Jeepney driver is always exposed to pollutants. O ikaw ba ay nagtatrabaho sa isang factory that are, let's say, exposed sa asbestos? Yan, tinatanong natin yan. Ano? So, and of course, another common thing na we ask a patient is the family history of respiratory diseases, such as tuberculosis, or meron bang asthma, or emphysema, anything that we can use to properly assess the patient's medical history. Okay. Now, aside from the medical history, of course, we are also going to be conducting a physical examination of the patient. So there are three things that we actually do. You observe, you auscultate, and you actually palpate. So in observation, we only assess for signs of any possible respiratory distress. For example, abnormal breathing patterns or difficulty of breathing, or use of accessory muscles, chest deformities. For example, barrel-chested ba ang pasyente? Might be a presence of emphysema, pag ganun. And even the skin color. Kasi skin color can provide us insight on the level of oxygen na nasa loob ng pasyente. It means that, let's say, pag ang pasyente mo ay namumutla or palor or may bluish discoloration in part of the skin, possible merong respiratory problem because of the lack of oxygen. So that is only done through observation. Another way that we can physically examine the patient is through auscultation. So auscultation, like I've said before, ginagamitan natin to ng stethoscope. So, pag dito naman, we are going to be listening to lung sounds, okay, using a stethoscope to detect any abnormalities such as crackles, o yung parang, and also wheezes, and even decreased breath sounds. So, yun yung auscultation. Now, the third thing that you can do during a physical examination is palpation. So, you can actually palpate the chest of the patient if there are any possible tenderness or even possible masses or bukol na mararamdaman, or any abnormal movements while breathing. So that is done during physical examination. Now, aside from physical examination, I'm sorry, aside from assessment, kasunod ng assessment, of course, will be the diagnostic test na karaniwang ginagawa natin for the respiratory system. So, what are the most common diagnostic tests that we can actually use in diagnosing the respiratory system? So, una muna yung tinatawag natin na pulmonary function test, or yung PFTs. So, ito, gumagamit tayo ng spirometer to test or measure how well the lungs take in and exhale air and how efficiently they transport oxygen in the blood. So, as you can see in the picture, so sa spirometry, so ibubugahan ng pasyente yung spirometer through the mouthpiece and malalaman natin yung airflow and also the volume ng nailalabas niya during exhalation. Now, the spirometer, or spirometry, measures lung volumes and also the diffusion capacity test. Okay? So, another very common diagnostic test is, of course, the chest X-ray. An X-ray of the chest provides images of the heart, the lungs, airway, blood, vessels, and the bones of the spines and chest. So, kung mapapansin nyo naman, this is very accessible, very, very easy to order, and one of the most common things na ginagamit natin for any diagnostic procedure, especially pag involve yung respiratory system. Kasi yung kung mapapansin sa chest X-ray, the lungs are very visible. Pag clear yung lungs, makikita nyo kulay black yan, pero pag merong mga puti-puti, it can be indication of possible obstruction or possible mass or presence of mucus or infection. Okay, so chest X-ray also helps in identifying conditions like pneumonia, lung cancer, and of course other lung diseases. Now, aside from chest X-ray, we can also conduct a CT scan o yung computed tomography. Again, another very common diagnostic procedure that we can do. So, CT scans provide detailed images of the chest, offering more precise information about lung nodules, infection, pulmonary embolisms, and other conditions. So, comparing it to a chest X-ray, CT scan is more accurate. Yun nga lang, it can be more costly and medyo, well, meron kasi tayo ini-introduce na dye rito and then papasok natin yung pasyente sa isang CT scan machine to visualize the conditions of the respiratory system. Okay? So another one is bronchoscopy. Bronchoscopy is an invasive procedure. So bronchoscopy is wherein this test involves passing a thin, flexible tube o yung tinatawag natin na bronchoscope through the nose or mouth into the lungs. So ito, nagbibigay tayo rito ng visual, what do you call this? Para siyang visual representation. It helps in evaluating the airway and can also done also to collect samples and if needed performing certain treatment. So para siyang flexible tube na may camera sa dulo wherein it is inserted into the respiratory tract to visualize yung loob ng respiratory tract para makita natin if there are any possible disorder sa loob ng respiratory tract. Okay. Another one is your arterial blood gas. Pag sinabi nating arterial blood gas, we are going to be measuring the amount of oxygen and also carbon dioxide in the blood. So, kumukuha tayo ng blood sample dito, then we measure the amount of oxygen, the amount of carbon dioxide, because the amount of both this gas can actually determine respiratory function. Kung mababa ba or mataas ang oxygen or carbon dioxide. It helps in evaluating how well the lungs are moving oxygen into the blood and removing carbon dioxide. Okay. Another diagnostic test na common din na ginagawa is your sputum test. So, usually ginagawa ito in diagnosing if there are any possible infection sa pasyente, especially pag tuberculosis, ginagamit natin yung sputum test. So, sputum is the analysis of the mucus o yung tinatawag natin na sputum na cough up from the lungs and can help identify infections such as tuberculosis or even bacterial pneumonia. So, ito yung padadahakin natin yung pasyente, dahak, and then yung plema, ilalagay natin sa petri dish. Well, it will be tested in the laboratory. Okay, so another one that's very common and it's very easy to use is yung pulse oximetry. So pulse oximetry, we are actually testing the oxygen saturation in the blood using a device that clips onto the finger or earlobe. So instead of using EBG test, ang ginagawa lang natin rito is we are determining the level of oxygen sa blood ng pasyente with a non-invasive procedure using a pulse oximeter. So, naka-indicate dito yung percentage ng blood. Okay, usually, ang percentage ng blood natin dapat 98 pataas yan. Okay, 96, it's okay pa rin. Pero pag bumababa na doon, possible there is something wrong. Especially in a prolonged period of time. Let's say, mga 90 pababa, there's something wrong. Okay? And of course, exercise stress test is similar to the exercise stress test na pinag-usapan natin before in diagnosing the cardiovascular system. They can actually be done in conjunction with one another. The difference is for this particular exercise stress test, ang ini-evaluate naman natin rito is the respiratory function ng pasyente. So it evaluates how well the lung works when they are under stress, such as during exercise. So sabay silang ginagawa, cardiovascular and respiratory exercise stress test para malaman yung functioning ng dalawang system na to. It is particularly useful for diagnosing conditions like exercise-induced asthma. Kasi sometimes, di ba, pag nag-exercise ka, na-stress ka, and physical stress, that can actually induce asthma. Okay? So another one is allergy testing. So allergy testing are for individuals with suspected respiratory issues triggered by allergies. So common ito sa may mga asthma, allergic rhinitis also. Kailangan ma-identify natin ano ang nagtitrigger ng kanilang allergic reaction so we can provide proper management. So skin or blood test can help identify specific allergens, di ba? So parang skin testing lang para malaman natin anong allergen ba yung nagko-cause ng allergy. That might cause a respiratory allergy such as an asthma or allergic rhinitis. Okay, and of course, ito napag-usapan natin before, if there is any presence of mass in the lungs, we have to conduct a lung biopsy. In cases where other tests are inconclusive, a biopsy might be necessary. This involves taking a small tissue sample from the lung for examination. We've already talked about this before nung nasa oncology tayo, oncologic nursing. So, it's same procedure. So, needle biopsy ang ginagamit natin rito in order for us to extract a tissue sample from a possible mass inside the lungs. Okay, so that's it for assessment and diagnostic procedure for the respiratory system. So, ang next sa pag-uusapan natin after this are the common disorders na na-encounter natin in the respiratory system. So, I'll see you later. Bye, class.